Hello beauties and welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda, also known as the Alchemy Queen, and today we have a pick a card reading all about what to do with your time off or at home or just in general, I guess. So right now, what are you getting called to do, whether you are quarantined at home like the rest of us or if you're just looking for things to do when you do get home or on your weekends. This video is for you. This pick a card reading is going to be all about what you should be doing right now with any extra time that you might have due to recent world events, I guess. Make sure to check the description box for the timestamps for the card piles. And if you're new to pick a card readings, here's how it works. Basically, you tap into your intuition to figure out what card pile is best for you right now. So that could be saying something like a quick prayer to the universe. Dear angels and spirits of the highest good, please direct me to the card pile that my soul most wants to hear right now. And then you can sit there and breathe and figure out when you open your eyes, just identify which card pile is that you're drawn to. Or if you're a little less woo-woo, you could simply just close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and pick the card pile that you're most drawn to when you open your eyes. So either way is fine, or if you have another way that works too, by all means go for it. I will also be popping some crystals on the cards, so if you do find it easier to pick with crystals, as I also sometimes do, you can certainly do it that way. I'll prompt you when to pause the video when the cards are up in a moment, and you can make your choice from there. The thing about crystals though is that you want to make sure that you're not just picking the prettiest crystal or the one that you like the best. You want to be picking the one that you're drawn to. So by chance it could be the one that is the prettiest, but not likely. If that is the case though, go ahead and pick that one. Your intuition is calling you there. Go for it. That's the message that you need to hear. But make sure you're picking the one that's coming out of your intuition and not your mind. Oh, I like rose quartz, I'm gonna pick rose quartz. No, what are you feeling called towards? So don't look at so much the crystal and the meaning and what it's good for. Just use your eyes, your intuition to be like, okay, it's pile number 4 today. Also, there sometimes could be a chance that you are drawn to 2 piles. That's totally fine. It just means that you need to hear messages from both of those piles. So listen to both messages and take what resonates with you, and then just simply leave the rest. And lastly, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel, and yeah, comment below what your biggest takeaway was and what you're doing at home during this crazy time, because I want to know. All right, let's get into the video. All right, so here are your cards. We have pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is where you're going to want to pause the video and just remember to tune into what pile is calling to you. This is to see how you should be spending all your extra free time right now. So pause the video here and I'll be popping the crystals on in just a second. All right, so pile number 1, we have red jasper. Pile number 2, we have rose quartz. Pile 3 is orange calcite, and pile 4 is opalite. So once again, if you found that you need the crystals to pick your pile and tune into your intuition, now's your chance to pause the video one last time before we start the readings. All right, pile number 1, here is your cards for how you should be spending your time in quarantine and with all this extra time. So your first card, we have 6 of Wands, the Ace of Cups, the Queen of Wands, detach from drama, and protection. Call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. So right away, I feel like these cards really stand out to me. So detach from the drama and protection. The drama could be something in your life, in your personal life, but this can also relate to the drama going on in the world right now, aka the coronavirus and the news. Actually, reading specifically the booklet for this card, it literally says something like detach from stressful news events or something like that. It refers to news events, so I feel like this card is really relevant for what's going on. Protection, call back your power, cut the cords. So I'm thinking that if you picked pile number 1, you are probably very overwhelmed right now. Like maybe you have somebody in your life who is affected personally by the virus, or maybe you're just very stressed out, or you're really taking things very hard right now. I think that would be your case if you picked this pile. So detach from the drama, look up. That is that card here. This one here, call back your power, cut the cords. So this also kind of ties in with the Ace of Cups here. The Ace of Cups is about flow, it's partly about creativity, but it's partly about helping others and flowing out what you have to others, because what goes around comes around. So I feel like it's almost like these cards kind of tie in together here. So you want to detach from the drama, let your creativity flow, let your good vibes flow. So what can you do to get into a state of good vibes? And the other cards here, we have the Queen of Wands, which is all about being your authentic self and indulging in creativity and taking action. So these ones here, I feel like creativity, maybe in order to detach from the drama and cut the cords, you need to open up expressively in a creativity kind of way. So maybe that's artwork or playing an instrument or journaling or writing or just anything that opens you up basically. What makes you feel good? Maybe that's simply just meditating and doing something that makes you feel your truest self. Like you're doing something that you don't have to wear a mask for. You're just being your most authentic self. And it's very meditative, it's very healing. So for a lot of people that could be painting, or even those coloring books, right? Do you guys remember those coloring books that came back a couple years ago, the adult coloring books? That can be really meditative. And the Six of Wands, I feel like the Six of Wands is all about victory. So I feel like maybe sit in a meditation and look back to a time if you're really, really struggling to pull yourself out of the rut that you're in and the chaos and the anxiety. Think about to a time that you were thriving and use that as kind of an anchor and use those feelings to decide that today I'm going to feel like this again. So do something to spike your creativity. That's going to help you feel a lot better, because I really think that if you guys pick this pile, you're really having a hard time emotionally and mentally right now. This one, I really like this card too, because call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. So cutting the cords, this is a great meditation that you can do. Just visualizing the thing or the person that is causing you anxiety or drama. And imagine sitting across from that item with an actual cord connected to your heart to them. And imagine Archangel Michael coming down and slicing the cord between you with his sword, and that you are free and that you do not have to feel that way, and you can feel the way that you choose, which is hopefully you're choosing to feel like these ladies here. So that is my advice for you. Pile number 1, look up. Things will get better. This is temporary. It is serious, but it's temporary, and the only thing that you can do is your very best. Just do your best, and you have to look after yourself first. So there you go. I hope that helped. If you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next one. All right, pile number 2, here we are. Here are your cards to see how you should be spending your time with all of this extra time we have now in the world. So your first card is the Seven of Cups. Next we have the Ace of Pentacles. After that, the Seven of Pentacles. Then we have Inner Child. And then Deep Replenishment. Retreat, rest, and be held. So right away, the vibe that I'm getting for this reading is you're planting seeds and you're watching them grow. So whether you have a child and you're literally nurturing that child, or maybe you have a business idea that you're trying to grow, or maybe just a project that you're working on, maybe you're trying to nurture a relationship. no matter what it is. Maybe you're just trying to nurture yourself right now and you're trying to take some time to learn. So maybe this is a good time to ask yourself, what do you need right now? What does my soul crave right now? What does my body crave right now? What does my mind crave right now? And feed those things to yourself. Like we have the deep replenishment card, retreat, rest, and be held. So maybe you take some of this time, you sleep 9 or 10 hours a day for the next week and just really nurture yourself. So again, we have the inner child card. This, I feel like this one's here, the Seven of Pentacles. This is about nurturing and steady growth and prosperity. A little bit of prosperity. Pentacles are prosperity, but more sustainability. So this could be spending time with your kids. Like if you have kids, this could be a really good opportunity. I'm sure pretty much everywhere is right now. There's no schools going on and there's no daycares or activities. So you're home. If you have kids, you're home with your kids. Spend some time to just be with them and be a kid yourself and just have fun with them and let them teach you something during this time. And that would be a really great way to spend your opportunity to spend this time, and then get silly and let your inner child come out, and then rest. Like go to bed when they go to bed, get up when they go up, because that's really going to be nurturing to your soul. And then yeah, so for these two cards here, what beside your children and yourself, what can you nurture? What can you put time and energy into that will grow? Like maybe you have been thinking about starting a business, or maybe you've been wanting to learn a new skill. I mean, the internet's still working, you guys. We have endless opportunities to learn whatever we want right now. What have you been putting off that you want to learn? Take this time to invest in yourself and grow your skills. The Seven of Cups is all about temptations and making the right choice. So don't just be choosing, oh, I should be learning this thing for work because that'll make me better. No, what do you want to learn? Don't fear what you might be missing out. Do make the decision based on what you personally feel is right in your soul, not what you think you should be doing, but make the decision from your heart. We have this extra time right now. I mean, it's a terrible time, but the good thing about this is that you do have time to give yourself what you need. So during this extra time, I really invite you to ask yourself, what does my soul need? What does my body need? What does my mind need? And really, I would suggest journaling on these prompts and seeing what comes up. I mean, maybe you do some yoga with your kids and it's just so much fun. What can you do? Journal it out. There is a million ideas on the internet right now, a million things you can learn, endless things you can learn, really. So take the time to be silly. If you don't have kids, you can still channel your inner child. Like, what did you like to do as a child? And bring that out. And maybe you just need to laugh, and maybe you just need to watch a couple silly movies or a couple silly YouTube videos and call a friend and just have some laughs. Like, maybe that's all you need. So take this time to rest, recuperate, give your mind, body, and soul what it's craving. Spend time with your kids or start acting like a kid, and then really start that skill that you wanted to learn. Really invest some time in it, and you would be so surprised how much you can learn if you really put some hours into it in the next couple weeks. So that is it for you, pile number 2. I really hope that you found this video enlightening and inspiring, and that you do something really great with it. Make sure to comment below what your biggest takeaway was, and like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. All right, pile number 3, here we go. Here are your cards. So we have the Magician, the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, Air, and the Initiation, Rite of Passage, Crossing the Threshold. So this is one of the So right away, the first thing that I noticed is that we have 2 knights here. And I'm thinking that most of these viewers are probably going to be some of my lady friends. And so don't judge me, but my first thought was spending some really quality time with your significant other. So I think you know where I'm getting at with that one. I don't need to elaborate. That is one way that you can definitely spend your time during this weird period in history that is history. So getting some really quality time with your knight. That's one way. Something else here that I see, that I think pile number 3, I think most of you who picked this, you have something big brewing. I'm thinking that the coronavirus really interrupted something that you were trying to get off the ground. So maybe you were trying to start a business and this really put an interruption in that. We have the Magician, which to me means you really have the power to make magic happen, obviously, but to manifest something. So however you spend your time these next couple weeks can really determine a lot, and you have the power to really bring something to life here. And the universe is with you right now. It really is. So same with this initiation card. So if you take a look at this card, basically you're in chaos right now, and then you can kind of see a little bit of beauty out in underneath this cross, or not a cross, but whatever that is, that you can get through to that. And it's basically crossing the threshold, but you have to choose that. It's open for you to go there, but you have to choose that. So right now, I feel like if you pick this pile, you have a really big possibility of completely changing your life. I don't see the Tower card here, or anything that symbolizes that, but I feel like this could be kind of a mini Tower moment. Like you could really make some big changes. These cards, like I'm feeling there's some really big energy with those cards that really could symbolize some massive changes that you could have. Same with this Air card. So the fact that the bird's flying, and he could be going absolutely anywhere. He has the power to go anywhere that he wants. And he's looking straight ahead. He's flying into the sky. The sunlight's coming down. It's very beautiful. And he knows where he's going, and he's just going there. So I think those cards together kind of mean that you really can, whatever you set your mind to, you should be working on during this time. Especially with the sword and the air card. Swords are air, which is like messages. So that could be conveying messages. Like, what message do you have right now that you need to get out to the world? If there's something on your heart that's calling you to put it out there. Like, take a chance. That's what the night energy is about. It's about taking risks and taking chances and acting now and thinking later. I mean, don't do anything that's going to harm somebody, obviously, but take the chance. Like, if you have a message on your heart, get it out there. I really feel like if you picked this pile, that is what's on your heart right now. You have a message and you really need to share it. So yeah, the night energies is really about a little bit risky, a little bit of you're scared to do it, but do it anyways. So this one, if you guys picked pile number 3, I don't have anything as specific as the other piles to tell you, but you know what you need to do right now. Because you guys who picked this pile are about to do some really great things. I just know it. And I'll tell you one thing as well. Before I channel the angels and I lay out all the cards facing down. And then I myself also picked the pile that I'm most drawn to. And I actually picked pile number 3. And when I flipped all the cards up, I was just like, this is so perfect for me, because I'm trying to start this YouTube channel. I'm trying to make all these videos now and get my message out there. So I feel like you guys are kind of like me in that you have something to share. I think a lot of people have things to share because they're becoming who they are. And I really think that, yeah, the universe has your back right now. And whatever you share is going to be supported. Whatever you do is going to be supported. So use this time and research. What do you need to do to get your message out there if it's not as simple as just posting it on Instagram or Facebook? What do you, like, if you want to start a business, how do you do that? Like, start looking things up. There's so much free resources out there. And then maybe you even want to invest in a program or a course or a coach to help you get where you need to go. And I really think that if you put your head down and start working on this goal, you're going to make exponential progress. Anyways, that is your reading pile number 3. I hope that you enjoyed. Please make sure to comment below what your biggest takeaway was. And yeah, make sure to like the video and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. All right, finally, pile number 4. Here we go. Your cards for this reading are the 5 of Swords, the 4 of Cups, the 6 of Cups, the Akashic Records, and Keepers of the Earth. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. So I really like these 2 cards, how they kind of came up together. So Akashic Records and the Keepers of the Earth. So for those of you who don't know, the Akashic Records are basically a library of events and memories of every soul who's ever lived on the earth and every body that they've ever been on. And I might be butchering that definition a little bit, but that is the gist of it. So please cut me some slack if I am butchering it, but I think that mostly covers it. So a lot of people are tuning into the Akashic Records to find out what they have been doing in a past life, to figure out where their soul has been, and to discover soul lessons that they need to learn in this lifetime. So the fact that we have Akashic Records with Keepers of the Earth, which is you are not alone, ancient ancestors stand beside you. The ancient ancestors and the Akashic Records really go together here, and they're telling me that now would be a good time to kind of tap into that. So maybe you do some research on your family history, or you do some internet research on the Akashic Records and things like that. You can definitely contact somebody online and do an Akashic Records reading and find out that way. You could also do things like past life therapy, stuff like that. There's a lot of different modalities today that you can explore. The other thing, we also have the 6 of Cups, which is kind of not necessarily past lives, but it's familiarity, it's nostalgia. So maybe you're bringing, memories are coming back to you. So this means that memories could be coming back to you. Maybe you need to be thinking about your childhood. Maybe you have some deep inner healing you need to do. Just looking at some of these cards, they're all kind of inward. The people on these cards are all focusing inwards. Maybe this is a time that you really need to focus inwards and find out what you need to heal. Maybe it is ancestral or past life, or maybe you need to focus on what kind of karma you need to deal with from a past life, or healing ancestral karma, stuff like that. Some of those ideas could literally, if you start Googling and YouTubing and researching online, could occupy you for days. So that's definitely something that you can do with your time. We have the 5 of Swords and the 4 of Cups. The 5 of Swords is rather a bit of aggressiveness. You feel like you're in survival mode right now, which is quite understandable given what's going on. You could feel very much at ease, very anxious, and you might be somebody who is really on the defense and you're being hostile right now, and you really need to act out of love and not fear. Like, I'm picturing the person at the grocery store hoarding all the toilet paper. I'm thinking that this might be you. So just remember that we all need toilet paper, and there is enough to go around, so don't take more than your share. That is the message for this card here, I feel like. Joking, but not joking. So I feel like you guys, I think pile number 1 was similar. You guys feel quite uneasy about the situation right now in the world, and you really just need to focus in on yourself. So in order to, the 4 of Cups is kind of the same, a similar energy, I would say. It's a very distracted energy. You feel withdrawn. And this is a time to really tune in and meditate and contemplate and self-reflect and self-evaluate. And that could mean a lot of things. And that could mean a lot of things, but I think specifically for you guys, pile number 4, you need to be looking at ancient ancestor type stuff or Akashic records and things like that. There's a lot of different things that you could be looking into. But yeah, don't fret. This is all gonna blow over eventually. I mean, I don't mean to sound light because this is a serious thing that's happening, but you can only control yourself and you can only do your best. So as long as you're doing your best, you need to trust that other people will do their best and that we'll all come out of this as a collective. I mean, I shouldn't say we're not, there's gonna be people dying. I mean, I get that. I don't want to take that too lightly, but we can only do our best. We can only try and help each other right now instead of tearing each other down. So instead of feeling hostile and defensive, trying to help somebody, trying to just think about somebody besides yourself, and remember to always act out of love and not fear. So that's what you can be doing for these next little bit of time off, looking into these. So if you guys have oracle cards, these are actually the Archangel Metatron. So these are actually the Archangel Metatron cards, and you can really learn a lot for these. I mean, this is the book here. So pile number 4, and you can and you can just start to look up some of this stuff and see what resonates and just kind of follow what you feel called to. And then you're going to get down some rabbit holes and hopefully you learn something about yourself, and take some time to really journal and meditate and pull some information out that really needs to come out, and do some self-healing. So that is it for you, pile number 4. I really hope that you enjoyed the video. Please make sure to comment below what your biggest takeaway was, and like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.